Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight? Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. I'd like to see them use this drive disparity to shift the tide of the fight to their side. They're barely hanging in there. Can they hold out any longer? Perfect. Takes the round without getting touched.
Round 2.
Player 1 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Can't tech the throw? Yoga flame! Player 2 was completely shut out in that last round. They really need to think about whether to press on with their current game plan or change up their playstyle a bit. They decide to take a breather to regroup. A quick breather keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Player 1 is dominating flawless round. They got him so quick. That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Starts off zoning with fireballs. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. The fight continues in the middle of the stage. Throws them. What's next? Knockdown. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. That's one huge life lead. Is this going well with KO? Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Player 1 did a great job of maintaining their drive gauge during that last round. It's going to be even more important in this next round to keep that up to help strengthen their ground game. Neither fighter is willing to back down from this exchange. Doing some quick planning? Got him, sees him coming and shrugs it off with a super arm. Puts the super armor to good use. Breaks the block with a throw. Teleports, knocks them out of the air. Solid anti-air. This is a turning point. And whiff KO. Player 1 took no time to finish that fight.
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Ready? Then show me.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Gets a chance with that jumping. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Goes for the throw. Steps in for the throw. Can they convert this punish counter opportunity into something? No more drive gauge. Look at the damage they can pump out with the combo. Things are hitting KO. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Hits them with a stop and bop. Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Looking for a chance. A quick breather. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Springs forward with the drive rush. Drive rush to keep it going. Watching each other carefully. Who will make the first move? This can lead to some big damage. Jumps up. Drive rush. Max and whiff. They're wide open. Drops him hard. Tries and throws last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. The last round. It's now or never. Rattles them with a spinning bird kick. Player one will look to apply pressure here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Plenty of health. Holy! Ooh, the drive impact hit for a punish. SDK hit. Oh, putting the cherry on top. Just smothering them with blows to rain on their parade. This kind of violence is a beautiful thing. Jump. Back into the corner. What setup has knocked them out of the air. Betting it all on the drive rush. Punish counter sets the what a finish. Player one gets the win in a convincing fashion.
Round one.
It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Blocking a jump in attack means you're at a disadvantage, so they should be looking to anti-air instead. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Both sides have full drive and plenty of health. Let's see how things open up. Will they use their drive to break through or to turn up the heat? Nails the anti-air. Very solid corner switch. Avoids getting cornered. Sticks the jump in. Shoots off a fireball up close. All right, what's coming up next? Burnout activates. Player one in trouble with no drive. Knockdown. Player two will look to apply pressure here. Closes with the throw. Hitting him with the smart stuff. Player one on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? All right, what's coming up next? Nails the anti-air. Drive gauge management here. They're going for the super art. They exchange blows. Yoga fire there. Manages to block the jump in attack. Both fighters springs forward with the drive rush. Their will to win is really being tested here. Going in, player drops him hard. Barely blocks the jump. Ooh, what a smart throw. One'll have drive rush to keep it going. This is gonna hurt. What are you jumping in for? This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? Jumps? All in with a rush! Wow, sat and waited for this opening! Taps him on the dome! Oh, putting the cherry on top! Uh-oh, this could really tip the scales! We're setting it all on the drive rush! Oh, critical art now? Reversal is hit! Is this gonna set the outcome of this fight in stone? A real test of nerves here. Who will set the bait at this range? Player two has a full drive gauge, but is on the brink of death. Yoga arch. They got something in mind. Yoga fire. Reads the jump in perfectly. Gotta do better than that. Yoga fire to turn up the heat. Answers with a fireball! No one could have called that! Player two is gonna be watching replays for this one for a while! They really took it down to the wire.
Round one.
They're still hungry! Both sides stepping up for the rematch! Jumps in. The super armor. Oh! The move whiffs and they get nailed with a punish counter. That should teach him you can't just throw out moves. Player one chases them down. buy some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Player 1 is in burnout. Drives off the table. Timely side switch there, which will let him go on the attack. KO. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Gets the jump in. Spinning bird kick. Player 1 hits them with a stop and pop. They can't squander this punish counter chance. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Max SA gauges, unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Rattles them with a spinning bird kick. Takes the opponent out of the air. This is a chance to dictate the pace. Reaches out with a light. They're going for the super art. What were they thinking? In there. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Yoga fire there. Teleport. That's gonna rattle him. Both fighters look to set the throws him. Quick breather. Forward rush. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Grounds him from above. Drops him hard. They just said, get that jumping out of here. This is gonna hurt. Ooh, does him dirty. Excellent block. Oh man, this is a scary ring. Yoga arms. Pumps the brakes on the impact. These fighters are swinging for control of the match. The drive impact doesn't work. Reads the jump in perfectly. Connects with the throw. A jump. Drops them. Knocks them out of the air. What are they gonna do? Any mistake here is gonna be fatal. What's it gonna be? Oh, they're gonna be in the middle. No hesitation or regret. Hits them with an NSFW. Perfect damage calculation. No doubt about it. It is over. Player 2 has got to be feeling good getting the win out of that absolute carnage.
Comes a new challenger.
Oh, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Checks with a projectile. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match gonna go? How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Side switch. Now they're on the defensive. Does not want to get stuck in the corner. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strat. This is looking bad. What are they gonna do? This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? This is a tough spot. Checks him with a projectile. KO! Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 2 was completely shut out in that last round. They really need to think about whether to press on with their current game plan or change up their playstyle a bit. Get in a Hazanshi! Avoids getting stuck in it, springs forward with the drive rush. This is the ideal range to utilize the fireball. Drive impact misses! Risky up-close scrap still going. Jumps in, draws that off! Closing moments of the match. Super art to show off what a PhD and fighters can do from the flatline zone. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Opens with a jump in. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Shows a medium kick. Player 2 drops below on gauge stock, but a good call to take that round. That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Out of range. Relatively safe. Drive rush. A jump. This can lead to some big damage. Connects with the throw. Slashes for a reaction with a fireball. Clutch, anti-air. Blink out. Switch sides. Oh, in with a rush. And eats it. Shoots their shot. There's a drive impact. Turns out. Plenty of health. Full gauges. Let's go. Cross that off. Oh, putting it all on the line. Perfect damage calculation. No doubt about it. Does not leave anything to chance with that super finish. Player 1 really had to fight for that one. No shortage of drama. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. A jump. Barely blocks the jump in. Hazanshu threw him off with the overhead. The drive impact whiffs. Are they ready to punish? Getting careless and missing a drive impact like that will leave you wide open. Oh! Player 2 chases them down. Strings it all together. Knockdown. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Well-timed corner switch. They've been pushed into the wall and the stun's there. We're near the end of the round. Can either fighter pull a rabbit out of their hat here? In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. KO! Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Left off a projectile to waste time. Keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Who will gain control of the match in the early going? Okay, creating some space here. A good chance here to recover the drive gauge or figure out the next step. Both fighters have plenty of drive to work with, but how they make their approach will be key. It'll be interesting to see how both players utilize their drive gauge to dictate the terms of the match. Teleports! That's gonna rattle them. So, what's next? Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Let's off a yoga fire. Watching each other carefully. Who will make the first move? This is the time to use fireballs to chip away at an opponent. Springs forward with the drive rush. Get overhead, but it won't work. The super doesn't hit. Player 1 has the super gauge advantage. Looking for a chance. Are we gonna low heavy? Oh my god, they just choked it up! This is a critical moment. It burns out. Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. They don't have any leeway to make a mistake. Someone's gotta make a move. Flatline zone. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Yoga fire there. Throws out a projectile. Trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Gets a chance with that jump. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Is the fireball part of their corner game? Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Throws out the fireball to check him. Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Blocks the low heavy. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Next hit will end the round. Fireball from very long range. What's next here? Player 2 is almost dead, but some clutch KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Holds out with the block. Rattles them with a spinning bird kick. Player 2, there's the wall splash. They can't do anything now. Player 2 holding on to that corner advantage. Whiffs with that huge attack. Both fighters planning some, ooh, what's this? What's gonna happen? Baits out the attack and gets them in there. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Teleport. That's gonna rattle. All in with a rock. SBK hits. Player 2 can't correct them. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Turning it right up with a super. Rattling the inside of their head with the Hayokusen. Picasso getting it some real damage. Throws them. Amazing. Player 2 breaks it. Closes it out. Player 2 gets the win in a convincing fashion.
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight? Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Oh, whiffs the grab. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. All right. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Super meter is looking bare right now. Will they try to hang back to stock up or continue fighting? I want to see how they manage their SA gauge here. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Does a good job of pushing back. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Backstep rolling attack? All right, what's coming up next? Throws them to negate the block. Closing moments of the match. One hit's gonna KO! Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Gets the jump in. Player 2 did a great job of maintaining their drive gauge during that last round. It's going to be even more important in this next round to keep that up to help strengthen their ground game. Drive gauge management here is going to be vital. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Big throws. Blocks the impact. Their spacing is brushes that off and keeps going. Blink up. Oh, could be the start of something. Going wild with Shout of Earth. Life lead is there. Sends up with the jump in. What now? Throws them. How long can this offensive assault continue? Player 1 is in a very good spot. They couldn't tech the throw. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Come on. Knocks them out of the air. Builds a fire there. Player 1 managed their drive gauge well to create lots of opportunities for themselves. Let's see if they can maintain this rhythm. With super arts into play, it's really anything goes at this point. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Player 1 has a full drive gauge, but is on the predictor about to get wild here. Nice fireball. What are they gonna do? Blink out. Even the slightest left it all out. Both sides getting ready. This is such a tough situation. Closes it out. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Starts with a jump in. The drive impact nets them a sweet punish counter. That should teach him you can't just throw out moves. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Knockdown. Corner switch means they can now go on the offensive. Gets out of the corner. Goes in on the impact for nothing. Takes a trip. Eats it up with a combo into super. Taking stock. Sees the overhead coming and blocks it. Player 1 in trouble with no drive. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Hold your breath. Barely blocks the jump in. We're near the KO. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Taking them for a ride on a Siberian Express. Jumps in. Meets the jump in with a perfect parry. Looking to plant him with a pile driver. Superb reactions on display. Good judgment there. Avoids getting stuck in the corner somehow. Gotta be careful not to whiff at this range. The life remaining tells us we're halfway through this match. What's going to happen here in the latter half of this round? Whiffs with that huge attack. Close range projectile. Experiencing burnout. A single KO. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.